Hi everybody, how you doing? This is Madhvi from TaroticallySpeaking.com, and today I'm going to be doing a quick tutorial about a 3-card spread using the tarot cards. But what I'm doing a little bit different this time is I'm going to add in the Lenormand cards into the mix. So for every card that I pull out from my tarot deck, I'll be pulling out 2 cards from the Lenormand deck, and we will see how the information that comes through from the Lenormand really enhances what information we already get from the tarot deck. So I'm gonna kind of skip the part where I shuffle the deck and everything. So we'll just go right down to the part where I'll pull out the cards and all, and we start doing the reading. Okay, be right back. Okay, so this is a question that was sent to me by a friend of mine, right? And he's given me permission to put this in a reading. It's about his work. He wants to start looking for a new job, and so he started looking actually, but nothing seems to be working out. So he wants to know what could be the problem and how he can sort of overcome it or figure it out. So I figured, okay, let's do the situation, obstacle, and guidance spread, right? So this is the situation, this is the obstacles that are in his way, and this is the guidance that the cards are giving him. Especially now, within the context of a job search, right? This reading or this spread that I'll be doing, just give me a second. I'm going to move these cards so I can pull out the Lenormand cards as well. All right, so 2 cards from the Lenormand for each card of the tarot. That's kind of how I do it. With the Lenormand, you need to have at least 2 cards for to create that phrase, or so that, because the way it works is that the second card qualifies or colors the first card. So that's how it works. Okay, so the situation is that this guy is looking for a new job because he wants to do something better compared to what he's doing right now. He maybe wants a better pay as well, right? Nothing wrong with that. And then, but he's facing obstacles as he goes about his job search. So what is the guidance for him? All right, does this fit? Do I have to move the camera a little bit? Okay, all right, better. All right, so situation, let's see. 6 of Pentacles reversed. See, remember I said better pay, right? His expenses are more than his income, and that's probably one of the reasons why he's looking for the better pay. He's looking for a higher pay because of some reason, because for whatever reason his expenses have mounted up, right? This card, the 6 of Pentacles reversed, yes, it is a card about finding balance between giving and taking, but then it is also expenses and income. The merchant could represent his current company where he's working, and they're paying him, they're giving him a salary. The 6 of Pentacles is always very precise in that method. See, notice the pair of scales, right? Only whatever is due to him comes to him in that 6 of Pentacles. So in the reverse, it is pretty clear that whatever he receives is not enough, right? Now let's see how the Lenormand cards enhance this situation. So, or rather enhance this card meaning, because this, see, we have the cross, and the next card is stork. So now the stork card will qualify or add value to the cross card. The cross is about burdens, and the stork is about transition. So he wants to move away. He wants to overcome these burdens, these financial burdens that have come upon him, and he really wants to find that way out of it, or he wants to find a way to resolve the financial problems that he is going through, which is why the job search. All right, okay, so what are the obstacles in his path? We have 4 of Cups reversed. Now here's the thing, he may be not necessarily being, here's the thing that first came in my mind actually: favorable time, right? It may not necessarily be a favorable time for him right now, because whatever he finds, he will not be interested in it. Okay, what he's looking for, see this cup that comes from the cloud there, that's his ideal job. Maybe his ideal job is something that will, it will pay him what he wants, and that is the job that is not sort of coming. So he might be getting offers, or he might be getting calls from companies, but then the pay scale is not matching up, and that is his biggest obstacle. And perhaps because this card comes up reversed like that, it might not be the right time yet. See, the Lenormand cards have kind of confirmed that. We have the tree with the bouquet, right? The tree. So the bouquet indicates, bouquet is about a gift. Bouquet is about joy and pleasure, right? In that sense, bouquet is a good card. But the tree, that which it qualifies, right? So the gift and the tree is about slow and steady growth, something that takes its own sweet time into, becoming and happening. So the gift will take its own time to make its way towards him. So the right job that he is looking for, he will ultimately find it. That's the feeling I'm getting. That ultimately, yes, that right job, that perfect job, the one that will pay him what he wants, is going to come his way. But it's going to take some time. It's not going to happen just yet. It's not going to happen tomorrow, day after. It might take a couple of months, or even more, right? So he needs to really, really be careful perhaps with his spending, right? Among other things, because if money is the issue, then yes, that's one thing he needs to somehow find a way to balance. So what is the guidance here? Death. Now see, death doesn't mean someone's going to die. Death means he needs to completely let go. He needs to close out that chapter, right? He needs to completely wrap up all his dealings and doings and get ready for that change, because it's one day going to happen. The bouquet card did come up, means that even this, do you see this new sun, the sunrise over there, right? The new day dawns, but it's going to take a while. The thing with the death card is that, again, it takes a few months to manifest, and during this time he needs to wrap things up. He needs to, so if he's having some open projects that he's sort of dealing with at his current place where he's working, he needs to start, wrapping things up, finishing them up, so that when he does move, he doesn't leave anything behind. That's what the death card is all about. Cleanse everything, clear everything, and then walk away. Okay, so let's see what these Lenormand cards have to say. Mice, and then we have key. Now see, this is an important placement, interesting placement. Mice is about theft. Mice is about what is being taken away. All right, and that is being qualified by the key. So whatever is being, key is something that will lock and unlock, right? Now this side will be locked, this side will be unlocked. Had there been a third card here, that would, the key would open that. So what I'm saying is, whatever will be going away will actually open up new doorways for him. So in that space, in that time when, when he waits, and in that time where he waits for the right opportunity to appear in his life, he's not really wasting his time. He's just wrapping things up. He's really being a nice person about his job as he's leaving his job. So he's wrapping things up, he's clearing his decks, he's making sure that he doesn't leave any task pending when he ups and leaves, and that will actually be something good for him. That will something that it will not necessarily take away from the opportunities or take away from the different, it's not like, if he finishes off his thing and waits till the right opportunity comes along, something that, he would have wasted time. Not at all. In fact, that time will actually, the consideration that he will have shown towards his previous company will someday be instrumental in something good for him. Right? So now if I were to simply read just these three cards within the context of the question asked, that I'm looking for a job, I'm not finding something that works for me, what should I do? if you just look at tarot cards, you'd be like, okay, you're looking for a job because right now whatever you're earning, it's not necessarily matching up with your expenses are more. So yeah, you need to look for a new job, but then the opportunities aren't coming, and especially the kind of opportunities or the kind of job that you're looking for isn't essentially appearing, especially the one that will pay you what you're looking for. But don't worry, the guidance is whatever's on your table, clear it, finish it, end it, right? Wrap it up properly, nicely. If you do that, the right time comes, the right job will appear, right? And now, even with that guidance, you're pretty good to go. But add in your Lenormand cards and see what happens, right? You see how the Lenormand cards add value to the meaning. Here we know that, he may not be getting paid, but he's really looking to move out of that burdensome state that he is in. You can sense his eagerness here, right? And then here, even though you know that yes, the right job that he's looking for may not be manifesting for him, but you do see here again a little bit of a clue that yes, when it will come, it will be amazing. When it will appear, it will be amazing. It's going to take a sweet time to happen, right? And then you get a little bit more guidance here that yes, while he does wrap up his things and close out his projects and finish up all the tasks that are there on his to-do list, and while he waits for the right time to come by, it doesn't take away from his opportunities. No, rather, the way the consideration that he shows really is going to be something powerful for him later on in the future. It might likely give, it might be that his previous boss will appreciate him doing this and taking that time, and might give him a really good reference. That might happen, right? His diligence and his sincerity will earn him some rewards, and it's not going to take away from anything that he, that like if he thinks that okay, if I focus on this, might opportunity might come and go. Not at all. That's not going to happen. When the time is right, things will work out for him, and the way he deals with this situation is going to be beneficial to him. So see how these cards showing up actually added value to your tarot cards, and they really enhanced the reading. Okay, now I think I might just go and do another spread for you, because why not? Because I have actually another question from another friend of mine who's also said she's okay with me doing a little quick reading about it on my channel. So let me just shuffle my deck and I will be right back. Okay, so the situation is now this new question that I'll be doing, it's more of a romance kind of a situation, right? This guy, he sort of asked her out, my friend, okay, and she knows him a little bit, and so she's like, should I date him? Should I not date him? Like, what are the positives, negatives, and basically what's the guidance? What do the cards have to say? So that's the spread that I'm going to do for her. What's the plus point of her dating this guy? What would be the minus point for her to date this guy? And what is the guidance that the cards have for her, when she, basically as she decides whether or not to date the guy? Because ultimately I feel it's her choice. It's not my job to sort of tell her, do this, do that, in that sense. She needs to come up with her own decisions, which I think is the right way to do things. And at the same time, though, the cards can be very well used for guidance in such situations, because they can give us a clue, a hint, right? So what would be the plus point? What would be good for her? What would be positive for her if she dates this guy? What would be the negatives or negative points for her? And what would be the guidance of the cards should she decide? In order to help her decide, let's do it that way. Okay, so let's see if this fits in our frame. Okay. So just like the previous spread, the Lenormand cards, the pair of Lenormand cards is going to really enhance our reading. Does it fit, or do I need to move the stand just a little bit? Okay, better? Right. So now I'm going to do this a little bit different. I'm not going to open the Lenormand cards along with the tarot cards, because I want to see, I want you guys to also see how this is going to get enhanced at every stage. So let's see the tarot cards first, right? What works if she dates him? And the positive, we have Ace of Swords reversed. Now, although Ace of Swords upright would have probably been a better idea, and reverse, this card is talking about confusion. So there's going to be a lot of confusion at first, and that's positive for her. But at the same time, what I do see is that the crown is being pierced by the sword. So what I feel is between the two of them, there might not be those many ego issues as, between two personalities, but there might be other stuff going on which might give rise to some chaos at the beginning. That's my sense of it. But bottom line, the Ace of Swords reversed, even though it's an Ace of Swords and it's reversed, I sense that there might not be ego issues between them, right? That's just my intuition about it. But Ace of Swords is about clarity, and because it's reversed, it's about confusion. That's kind of how it goes. So that's why I said, okay, at first there might be a little bit of confusion between them, but then as things clear up, as the fog clears up, they'll realize they don't have ego issues between them. That's the positive. So what's the negative? Knight of Pentacles reversed, right? So this is a guy, right, between them, or rather this guy will be someone who maybe takes his own sweet time figuring things out. Things might not necessarily move at a pace which they both like to move at. Someone will move a little bit faster, someone might want a slower pace. The pacing of things, between the two of them, between their thought processes, and because it's a pentacle thing, it's also between the things that happen between them. That might be something to look out for. So what is the guidance here from the cards? Knight of Wands, right? Be positive, give it a shot. That's what the Knight of Wands does. He kind of gives it a shot, sees if it works for him or not. And if it doesn't, he's like, okay, you know what, it didn't work, that's okay, and he leaves at a positive note, but he definitely gives it a shot. That's the energy I'm sensing, right? So just with the tarot cards, this would be our spread, and this would be our guidance to my friend, that if you date him, it might be a little confusing, which again, this negative card sort of gives you that sense as well. But there might not, you guys will not have ego tussle, so that's one positive here. But the pacing of things, right, with the Knight of Pentacles being so always thoughtful, and then because he's reversed, it gives me that, it sort of sets me off there, thinking that okay, the pacing, the way between the two of them may not necessarily work, but the cards say give it a shot. You might, you never know, maybe at first it might be a little bit difficult, because it might take you guys a while to adjust, but things will, they might work out, but but for that you need to give it a shot. Now let's see what the Lenormand adds into this reading. Okay, so with respect to what works or what's positive about this reading, and the gentleman shows up, and we have the Sun. See, the Sun is, like I said, it's about exposure, but it's also about clarity and joy. And this is a gentleman and it's also about success, and it's also about knowing what he's doing. So this is a guy who knows what he wants. He's very clear about what he wants, and yes, the ego will not be really, he's a pleasant, sort of a happy-go-lucky sort of a person. He's a nice guy to be with. Okay, so this and this it just sort of says yes, yes, yes. It gives you that sort of additional information that yeah, he's gonna be okay, he's gonna be a nice guy, he has a clear vision about what he wants. So then what is the negative here, right? We have clover, and then we have scythe. See this, the scythe actually cuts this, right? Scythe is something that will cut, and clover is good luck. So although there might be some ups and downs, whatever, so the like I said, the pacing doesn't match here. They'll have different time frames of doing things, or different ways of doing things, or she might want to get things done sooner or quicker in certain departments, and he's maybe more laid back, or maybe it's the other way around. The point is the good stuff between them, whatever spontaneous, I'm seeing this more as a spontaneous, because of the lack of matching pace, the spontaneity between the two of them will be cut. So without spontaneity, sometimes relationships can get a little dull. That can happen. But here's the guidance. We have Knight of Wands saying give it a shot, and then we have Rider and Cross. So this might be difficult news, right? This is news which is hard to bear. And Rider is about the news, but what kind of news? Cross is burden. So this is a difficult news. This is something difficult that I have to tell you, my friend. But although the cards are saying give it a shot, because maybe it's reflecting your desire to kind of give it a shot, it might not work out in the long run. That's the feeling I'm getting, that it might become difficult for you to kind of keep being the only sort of happy-go-lucky positive person all the time, or or whatever, or the spontaneous person, really, because the Knight of Wands is also about spontaneity. So maybe this guy is clear about what he wants, but he's also a very routine oriented Pentacles guy. But then you are the Knight of Wands, who's very spontaneous and likes to try different things, and that might not match for you long run. But you want to give it a shot, you might just give it a shot, because the guidance card coming up like that, it looks like that's gonna happen. But whether it works out or not is difficult. It looks very difficult for it to work out. Okay. Well, see, again, here's the thing. Sometimes you might have to be the bearer of not so happy news for your clients, but if you do your reading right, you can sort of see the various shades of things, and then you can just very nicely, very gently inform them of what you see, even if it's not the nice things, even if it's not the nice stuff, and then let them decide. It's their call. Ultimately, it's their life, right? Now, coming back to our tutorial, did you see how the Lenormand cards, or the information from the Lenormand cards, just added more value and gave us a little bit more perspective on the way things are happening in the spread? So that's kind of why I like them. That's why I'm in love with them. And I hope that if you guys are giving Lenormand cards a shot, give them a shot. They totally are worth it, and add them into the mix with your tarot cards. It definitely adds value to your tarot story, to the spread that you do, and to the questions that you do. All right. So if you have any other spreads, and if you want me to do more tutorials, and if you have specific questions that you want me to look at, because that's nice, I could take on a couple of questions and do some spreads for you, just for the purpose of the tutorial. So I will obviously keep your names and other information anonymous. If you want me to do that, send it to me privately, not in the comments. Email me privately. And if you want me to keep just doing that, or if you just want me to do, say, a specific context, say a romance question or a work question, and do a certain spread with that sort of context, let me know that in the comments, so that I can maybe find a couple of questions to do within that context, and maybe do another tutorial video soon. If you like this video, click the like button. That's the thumbs up right below the video. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to my channel. That way you'll be notified every time I post a new video. And I've got some really interesting videos planned, so that should be interesting. And till I see you again, stay good, be good, and play with your cards. Bye bye.